Well, we have talked to death about social media. Well, these days, even adults like us are becoming tech-savvy with Facebook, with Twitter, YouTube, with blogs. But even as we are mastering these online social networking tools and using them for our personal and our professional networking, well, the fast-paced digital world continues turning and evolving, and newer social media programs are being churned out. Well, sad to say, it's not us but our youngsters who are the fastest to catch on. And, what are the the up-and-coming trends in social media beyond Facebook and Twitter? And as parents, do we have an updated and upgraded picture of the dark side? Well, join me, Pamela, who now in the living room as I find out what our Generation Z kids are engaged in online. Well, by Generation Z, I mean kids born between 1994 and 2004. Well, are your kids born between those years? Well, definitely mine are, and they're already online, for sure. If so, well, you definitely want to keep your eyes glued right here. Well, your ears, not your eyes, your ears glued right here on 938 Live for the next hour. Apart from being digitally sophisticated, the Gen Z kids, well, they use the internet as a primary tool for communication and self-expression, as it allows them to form and to be part of communities without much physical relationship building required. And now with smartphones being so affordable, well, these connections are pretty much maintained on demand and on the go. Well, how has the nature of online social networking evolved with the evolution of technology? And as parents, I think it's essential to be in the know when it comes to the latest trends in new media and infocomm technologies so that, we can foster a closer relationship with our kids. And also to narrow that generation gap. It's not always about catching up. I think it's also about building bridges with them. I think that's the important thing. And here to help us understand this more is my guest today, and he is Dr. Bernard Leong. And he is a digital media guru, I would say, and a co-founder of Chalkboard and SG Entrepreneurs. Well, Bernard holds a PhD in physics from Cambridge University in the UK, and he is one of the keynote speakers at the upcoming Parenting in the New Infocomm Age seminar. And of course, we're very glad to have him here to give us a little taste of that as well. And if you have questions, of course, you can call him at 669-11938. Well, Bernard, a very warm welcome to the living room.
Hi,
Good morning.
Hi, Pamela. Thank you for inviting me on the show. And
yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. Well, first of all, apart from, I definitely want to jump right in because I know many of my colleagues and I, at least, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter as well. The living room is on Twitter as well, and we have a blog. But apart from the existing social networking tools such as these, I mean, what else are our youth engaged in today online?
I think the shift is now moving towards the mobile space. There are new tools, new digital media tools that are coming online. For example, video streaming, ones like Quick and Ustream, where you record a video from any place, any time that you are, and you can actually stream it live on the internet as instantaneously. Or you could also have things like, for example, location-based social networking, where you want to broadcast where you are, and this would be Foursquare and Gowalla. Where there's also a social gaming element where you're trying to snatch for mayorships for that location, and you want to you would basically get some offers if that location decided to come out, maybe a free sushi or free beer in the pub, basically.
You'd be like a real sushi at a free pub?
Yeah. There are some locations in Singapore that actually turn on the Foursquare mayor privilege. You should probably get your friends to try.
Okay, definitely you mentioned names that I'm not very familiar with. You mentioned like a Quick Ustream as well as I don't. But I'm going to find out in greater detail about these because I think parents as well. For myself, I mean I have two little boys and they are in primary 3 and already they're online. And we really have to kind of watch out because the digital world is just growing and evolving so fast. So before we go on to that, I mean, when we talk about programs that are out there that are gaining popularity, especially in Singapore, I mean, what would you say are some of these programs?
I think the most popular is still Facebook and Twitter, the two most common ones. I think subsequently, because given the speed of new programs coming out very quickly, people have started using more features like people tend to upload their pictures via their mobile very quickly, upload videos very, very quickly, and usually and there is also a drive for content as well. So, and I think that also by word of mouth, new applications like Quick and Foursquare actually got to them pretty much faster with that. So I think these are the few applications that are actually gaining a lot of popularity now.
Right. And talking about quick and use stream, because you mentioned they are like live video streaming. Already my mind is going like, oh my goodness, with content generation, and it put in the hands of youth. I mean, it can go anywhere, everywhere. Now tell us a little bit about these programs. Can you tell us about quick and use stream? How are they similar? How are they different? How are they used?
They're pretty similar in the sense that what you do is that you can take your mobile phone and you do a video recording. And what happens is that at the same time, the video recording is actually streamed live on the website. So for the good advantage of such a system is that when, let's say, you go to a conference and you have friends who couldn't attend the conferences, so they can actually use that to record what the speaker is saying, so they can have a real-time view of what has been happening. Of course, the bad use is that the bad side of it is that the dark side of it is that actually people could use these tools to do obscene image, nude filming, etc. And I think that's the worrying sign of that. Yeah.
Has that actually been happening?
We haven't got that case, but we already have an earlier case, I think 3 years back, with the Tammy incident, right? But that case was they recorded the video that was not live, and they actually uploaded it into YouTube. Now it's actually real time, that you can actually film it instantaneously and everybody sees it instantaneously.
Yeah, right. And I do see the positive aspect of it as well. Like, for example, like a radio program in the living room, for example.
Correct.
If we could use Quick or use Stream, they could actually watch, like us having a conversation right now in the living room, and they can also, watch it on the computer. So I guess, there's always a good side and there's always a bad side. But with the onset also of the iPhone and, with and all this, you mentioned earlier about filming on the phone. Do you see any plus or negative points about the advent of the availability and affordability of smartphones?
I think the smartphones will be growing increasingly to affordable price, but I don't think most of the youth are able to afford it. Take a very simple. I teach a class in NTU, and I actually did a polling with my students, and I found out that not all my students, I think only less than about 10% of the class actually owns a smartphone. And they are still owning very, very basic phones where they could just basically call and SMS and do MMS. So this trend is definitely going to increase, but the question is that how many of them would start downloading these applications that are very savvy enough to use these applications for these purposes.
Right, so not a worry at the moment, but we don't know where that is going to go.
Well, we haven't seen a first case of someone doing anything.
Right. And I want to kind of explore, the whole nature of online social networking, because definitely social networking itself, it has been around for a very long time, but online social networking is something that is catching on really fast and it's evolving. I mean, how has the nature of online social working evolved as a result of these new technologies and these new programs?
I think there are three features that you definitely will take into account. First of it is it scales very fast, meaning that in the old days, if you have some news, you spread it just among your friends, and your friends spread it among your friends. It takes some time. Today, the moment you put up your status on Facebook, your few hundred friends will know it instantaneously what is happening to you. The second bit of it is more of you're able to sort of interact with your friends without meeting them. Say, for example, you have two kids and you want to show your baby photos to friends that you have not seen for a while. They will say, "Hey, congratulations, you're now a mom." Or third, I think the quick thing is that you are able to interact very quickly. There is a lot of instantaneous communication, and sometimes this communication can go very well and can also go very bad, and everything amplifies very quickly.
Right. Okay, I'm scribbling this down, of course, because definitely I'm going to be talking about that a little bit in more detail when we talk more about the parenting aspect of it, because it will have implications for all of us as well. And when we talk about, but in particular, we mentioned about the Gen X population, and that is of course kids that are born between 1994 and 2004, and they're very young kids. Where do you see the trend heading with regards to this Gen Z, not Gen, did I say Gen X? Gen Z population,
It should be Gen Z. I think the Gen Z is between 1994 to 2004. There's actually a much more formal definition of this. It was given by this book called Grown Up Digital by Don Tapscott, where he labeled 8 features of what a Gen Z kid like. But I'm not, for the sake of time, I'm just going to put in just 3 main features that I see that's common. First of all is that the Gen Z kids love to customize and love to personalize their content in the online space. And they feel a need to express freedom of expression and express their creativity. Second is that the need for speed. They want information to be devolved very quickly, as well as they want to broadcast information also very quickly.
Yeah, you are right with that.
And the last part of it, which is I think parents should also take note of it, is that they want